Welcome to the Pulsating Biology, and in the O-level syllabus today we are covering the chapter of the respiration. Before we get into more detail about the respiration, let's first understand what is the meaning of respiration and what does the definition of respiration tells us. When we talk about respiration, it is basically a process that is involved in living organism that basically involve a production of energy. This production of energy is basically taking place by the two processes. One is the intake of oxygen, and two is the release of the carbon dioxide from the oxidation of the complex organic substances. So when you sum up the definition of respiration, we say that respiration is a process in living organism that involves the production of energy, typically with the intake of oxygen and releasing of carbon dioxide from the oxidation of complex organic substances. When you talk about it in a more detail, you need to understand that respiration is also termed as the all kinds of the chemical reactions that basically takes place in the human body. Then we say that it takes place in all the living organism. When you say about the living organism, you need to understand that the living organisms include, we say that it include bacteria, it include fungi, it include animals, it include plant, but however, it does not include one kingdom, that is the virus, the organism kingdom of the virus. Why so? We say that the viruses are not included in the living organisms as they are considered to be on the borderline of living and non-living organisms. Other than that, we say that mostly respiration is involved in a outcome that is basically in the form of glucose. All the living organism basically releases a fuel named substance that is known as the glucose. You need to understand when we talk about the respiration, in the definition we often write the term production, and I've used this term on purpose because most of the students make this mistake about the using the word production. However, we need to understand that there is a law of physics that says energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. Therefore, we say the term, instead of production, we say that it releases energy. Please don't make this mistake in your exam. The production is the wrong word to use when it comes to respiration. We say that there is always release of energy with the intake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide. There are all sorts of the chemical reactions that are taking place in the body of a living organism. By living organism, we mean bacteria, we mean fungi, we mean animal, plant, but however, we does not include viruses because viruses are considered on the borderline of living and non-living organism. And the fuel that is obtained by respiration is the glucose. When you talk about the respiration, you need to understand that respiration are of basically two types. The one is the aerobic respiration and the other is the anaerobic respiration. When you talk about the aerobic respiration and the anaerobic respiration, you need to understand the difference between the aerobic and the anaerobic respiration. The aerobic respiration includes oxygen and releases more amount of the energy. Contradictory to that, when you talk about the anaerobic respiration, it does not include any oxygen molecule and releases less kind of the energy or the less amount of the energy as relatable to the aerobic respiration. Let's take a look at the example of aerobic respiration as it is included in your syllabus. Let's have a look at this. Whenever you say that there is aerobic respiration, it always involves oxygen. So let's say whenever glucose is combined with oxygen, as it is aerobic respiration, it gives us carbon dioxide and of course a water molecule. So let's make an equation from this one. We say that the formula of glucose is C6H12O6 is combined with 6 oxygen molecules that gives us 6 carbon dioxide molecules and the 6 water molecules. This is the entire process that basically helps us recognize that it is an aerobic respiration as oxygen is involved in it and the higher amount of the energy is basically released with the water molecule.